All right, in the last video, we had worked out what the pattern would have to be, the sketch would have to be for this scenario here. But I just realized yet again, I do this all the time, is I forgot to add one other little piece. I had mentioned here that the only two pieces we did not absolutely place, according to our rules, were P and S. But just looking at this little sketch here, we can't put S here, 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 okay, so we can't put them in there, but we also know that S has to come behind at least 1 year after M, so I can't put S here, or here, or here, right? Which would leave us with only one space for S to go. So we know that we have to put S right there. Okay, just take a moment. Hopefully that wasn't too terrible. Just think about what I was doing here. You can pause the video if you want. Ignore the blue for a minute, but just think about what we have in the yellow and then these rules right here. It basically rules out if S has to be in between N and M, and we can't put it here, 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 and not there, there's only one space for S to be. So really what it comes down to is that we only have one player, one piece left to play with, and that would be P. That makes this game a lot more manageable when you think about it. Okay, so let's scroll down and look at some of the questions here. So I reset that up a little bit. You know, if we can't put S in any of these spaces, then S is going to have to go here. So that's taken care of. And the only thing we have left to deal with is P, is where would P go? And if you think about it, we can't put P here. Well, it has to be at least a year after N, right? That was our rule earlier, in between N and M. So it can't go there, and it can't go after M, so we're really just left with, the only thing that we have to decide is, is P going to go there, there, or there? Those are our only options. All right, let's look at a question. And again, I know I stress this a lot, but if you spend some time making your map, usually the questions become rather quick if you sketch this out, and I think we'll see that in this case. But let's look at question number 8. Which one of the following is a complete and accurate list of the professors who could have been hired in 89 through 91? Well, we've got 89 through 91. We've got N, O, and R for sure, right? Those were all we know for a fact. They had to have been hired, but it's also possible that we could have put a P in there too. So it looks like our full and accurate list would include N, O, and R, because they're definites, but it's also possible P, so P could be in there. So N-O-R-P, oh, it's got to be C. And that's got to be our answer. Right? Okay, let me clear this out. Actually, clear that out for a moment. So it is C. Let's try 9. If exactly one professor was hired in 91, so it's only R there, which of the following could be true? Well, all we know there is that means P would have to be either in 90 or 92. So let's see, which could be true? What's possible? M and P share a specialty. Well, remember what that meant. If you share a specialty, you can't be next to each other. Well, that's possible, right? Because we could, in fact, have M, well, M's got to be over here, and we could put P over here, which means they're not right next to each other, which means that would be our answer. Yeah, that's the correct answer. Right? We're looking for something that would have to break the rules, and that doesn't break the rules. But just for a moment, let's go through B through E just to see why that. Basically what we're looking for, the wrong answers would be things that would be must be false. Let's see. Let's look at B. R and S share a specialty, meaning they have to, they can't be next to each other. Well, that can't be true. We know that, S and R have to be next to each other based on our sketch, so that's out. P, exactly 1 year after O. Impossible. We know that would mean P would have to be in this here, and that violates the rule that says P has to be in at least a year after N. So that's out. That's out. Exactly one professor was hired in 94. Looks like nobody can be hired in 94 because the only remaining piece we have is P, and it has to go in one of these slots. So that can't be true. That's out. 2 professors were hired, exactly 2, in 93. Nope, can't be, because we have M there, but the only piece we have left to play with is P, and P can't go there. So there's no way that you could have 2 professors hired in that year. It has to be A. Again, I know I kind of go over these things perhaps in excessive detail, but sometimes it's useful to see not only why something is right, but also why things are wrong. So, very good. Okay, let's look at 10. Which one of the following must be false? Well, just go down the line here, right? What the correct answer is something that breaks our rules, which really boil down to just this setup here and where P can go. N in 89, well, that's not false, that's true, so that's out. P in 90, well, it's possible. You could put P there, right? Those are the 3 options, so that's out. P in 91, well, that's also possible, so that's out. S in 92, nope, that's out. Well, looks like we're at E. T in 94, nope, T's in 95. So our answer is E. Okay, let's look at this one. Which of the following, again, must be true? We're looking for something. The wrong answers would break the rules. So let's go down the line. O before P. Is that true? Does that have to be true? Not necessarily, because we could have O, based on our sketch, we could have O and P in the same year. So that's not necessarily true. P before S. Nope, because we could put P and S in the same year. See a little sketch there? That's out. All right. S before R. Does S have to be before? Well, no. Actually, S has to be after R, so that's definitely out. D. R before S. Yes. That has to be true. Based on our sketch, R does, in fact, must be placed in 91, S in 92, so that is the correct answer. Well, it's just the last one. M before S. Clearly you can see, no, M is after S. So that's out. Okay, what about 12? If exactly 2 professors were hired in 92, well, let's think about what that means. If we hired 2 professors in 92, we've placed everybody except P. What that means is that P would go in 92, right? We'd have to put P in there alongside of S. So then which of the following could be true? O, P, and T share a specialty, meaning they cannot be next to each other. O, P, and T, yeah. That could be, right? Because they would not be next to each other, so I think we're done at that point, right? Remember from the beginning, what it said is when you share a specialty, the translation of that was that those particular professors were not in the same year or next to each other in our list. So, yeah, that could be true. O, P, and T are not next to each other. So we're done. Pause the video for a moment if you'd like, and see if you can figure out why the other ones would be wrong. I'll scroll back over here so you can take a screenshot of that and play it out. But I'm going to move on. All right, 13. If P and M have a specialty in common, meaning they cannot be next to each other, then which of the following must be true? So if P and M share a specialty, it means P here cannot go here. So that means no P here. That arrow is gone. So P would have to either be with R or with O. Let's see what must be true. Okay, let's see. N not next to P. Is that true? Not necessarily, because I could put P right over here, and that would be fine. N would be next to, or actually, I could put N or P over with the R, and then they would be separate, and that would be fine. They wouldn't necessarily share a specialty, but they could. It's possible. So that's out. 1 professor was hired in 90. Not necessarily true, because I could put P in there, right? If I eliminate the placing of P over in 92, I still have 2 options for P. So that's out. Nope. Exactly 1 in 1991, same reasoning, that's out as well. Does not have to be true. Exactly 2 professors were hired in each of 2 years. Well, no, right? Because if I put P in one, P will double up with somebody, but nobody else is doubled up with anybody else, so that's not necessarily true. That's out. So it has to be E, but let's look at this. P was hired at least 1 year before S. Yeah, it has to be, right? Because if P is not allowed to be next to M, it means I can't put P here. So I have to put it behind either with R or O, and both of those are behind S, at least 1 year behind S. So that has to be our correct answer. Again, this kind of went long, but hopefully this made sense. Let me know if not, and I will get right on it.